Hey everyone, welcome back to the Certified Associate Python Programmer course. My name is Anthony Sequeira, and in this exciting episode, we're going to talk about raising Cain. No, we're going to talk about raising exceptions. Yes, let's take a look. The first example here I have for you is when we use the raise keyword with something like a value error. Yeah, we can go ahead and raise the exception of a value error and provide our own value that will be given as output. So isn't this nifty? We can add our own logic into the error system. For instance, if we're collecting age, we set a function called setAge and we collect age from a user, let's say, of the application. Obviously, the age value needs to be a number that's going to be greater than 0 and less than 150. I don't think we have any 200-year-old people out there, so if someone were to enter in an age of 200, this should produce a custom value error, and that's exactly what we can do with the custom value error that we raise. Pretty cool, right? So notice what we do here in this code. We give our function a try. We set the age and we set it to a value of -5. And sure enough, that raises our custom value error that we defined. And in this case, the output of this program would be invalid output, and then age cannot be negative. Sure. So it's going to grab that value error, that custom value error that we raised. Now, this is great. We absolutely love that we have this capability at our fingertips. How wonderful. But there's something else that we can do with this raise command, and that is, believe it or not, we give it nothing. We say just raise, and where you would encounter this in an example would be inside the definition of your process, you have the zero division error called, notice, but you need to do something. Maybe close down a file that you have open or log the error in some local repository or terminate some running process. There's something you need to do before any indication of the error is provided. So notice what we do inside the definition of the process. We use the raise with nothing specified. This is going to make sure that it runs down in your try except block. Think about if we didn't have the raise statement at all. What would happen is the try would be attempted, calling the process with a value of 0. It would then go into the process and it would raise the error of the zero division error, and it would just say logging the error locally, but it would never give the user an indication of what went wrong. So if we re-raise the error inside the definition of the function, it would work like you would want it to. When the try block is attempted, the process of 0 value is given to process. That's going to trigger the error inside of the definition of the process. That would be that logging error locally step that gets accomplished for us. And then we would get the re-raising to trigger our except zero division error, which states there was a division by 0 error. So we get two great things here. We get the logging of the error locally, or whatever you would be doing in that step. That's like a placeholder text, obviously, for what we would be accomplishing. And then we let the end user know, hey, look, there was an error. We had to do something as a result of your error. Thank you very much. And the problem was division by 0. So I hope you appreciate and love the raise keyword and what it does. It's a really powerful tool for us in our tool belt when it comes to dealing with these pesky errors.